Hey friend, it is Kate here. Thank you so much for jumping on my channel and joining me here today. I have got a yoga class for you, and it is a nice full body class. We both get a nice workout, some big stretching, and a nice little shavasana at the end. It's a good slow flow class. It's maybe a little more challenging than some of my bigger classes, but we go in a very mindful way, which is why I'm calling it a slow flow. Roll out your mat and let's get started. Let's come to the back of our mat and begin standing tall and straight, feet about hip distance. Take a moment, roll the shoulders, shake it out, get rid of any tension in the body, maybe smile a little bit. Stand taller, stand straighter. Take a great big full breath in. Easy sigh out. Again, big full breath in. Let it go. From here, dip your chin to your chest. Give yourself a little bit of a double chin. Lift the back of your head up and actively reach long through both fingertips. Take one more big inhale here. Now softly bend the knees and begin to forward fold. Going only so deep is what feels good for you. That might be further or more shallow than what I'm doing, and that's okay. But find that easy forward fold and pause. Really think about letting the top of your head almost pour down towards the ground. Now your hands may or may not be touching the mat. You can always bring them to your shins or your thighs if that's more accessible to you. But give your hips a little sway, a little shake. Maybe nod the head. And then pause, pull the navel in, broaden across the chest, and roll yourself all the way up to standing. No hurry, no rush. Big deep inhale, exhale, chin to chest. Give yourself that double chin. Actively reach down through the fingertips. Big inhale. And then exhale, softly bend the knees and forward fold. No hurry. Look through the legs. Maybe shake the head yes and no. Pause, bend, roll yourself up, up, up. One more time, tall and straight. Begin to turn on the abdominal muscles, your little thut, that thigh butt connection point. Big inhale, exhale, chin to chest, double chin time. Fingertips reach down, big inhale, exhale, bend the knees, forward fold. Now from here, I want us to crawl all the way out to a great big plank pose. And if plank is not in the cards for you today, that's okay. No big deal. We're going to come down to our hands and our knees in just a moment. But for those of us reaching out to our plank pose, see how slow and steady you can take that. Arrive in your plank and pause. Think about cinching the waist a little bit. Squeezing the place where your thigh and your glute connect. You know what I call it. The thut, the thigh butt. Take a big, full, deep inhale. Great big breath out. One more big, deep, full inhale. Exhale, set the knees down. Sink back into a child's pose. Knees can be together or apart, whatever feels better in your body. I'm kind of half in between a really wide leg and knees together for myself personally. Just do what works for you. Crawl those hands further, further, further away and send your sitting bones back towards your heels. Actively press down into the ground with both of your hands. Take a big inhale. Big breath out, tone the tummy. Inhale, rise to your hands and your knees. Exhale, push your hips back. Inhale, rise to your hands and your knees. Inhale, push your hips back. One more time, rise to hands and knees and pause, taking the time to arrive in a true tabletop, hands beneath the shoulders. Imagine I'm holding your little hips and I'm pulling them back while the top of your head reaches forward. No double chin, but we do want a nice long back of our spine. Begin to find a true cat and cow. Let's take this in a slow and steady pace. I almost pause when I find a spot that feels, extra ooey gooey, but we can keep kind of moving through the body. Sometimes it feels better to really find that long static stretch, and sometimes just moving is really what's calling to my body. Especially through my pelvis, I like to lightly tip it forward and back, getting a little more length in that lumbar spine. Now eventually let's return to our tabletop. Draw the navel in, broaden across the chest. And from here, can you send your right foot out behind you? Tuck the toes at first, lightly press down into the mat with the ball of the foot and hollow the stomach, broadening across the chest. The place where your thigh and your glute connect, give it an extra squeeze, and then float the foot up. Toe can be pointed, flexed, or soft. Sometimes if it's flexed, you have more awareness if you're turning out or keeping it parallel. We're going for a parallel line right now, but it's certainly not the end of the world. What happened in your upper body as you lifted the leg? Did we sink? Did we arch? Can we return to our great big beautiful pose? Take a full deep inhale here. As you exhale, I want you to pull your knee to your nose, curl forward. Think about making space between the shoulder blades. Inhale, shoot the toe back and away, top of the head reaching nice and far. Big breath. Exhale, pull the knee in, round forward, press it down into the mat with both palms, and then extend and straighten. Twice more on your own breath. No hurry, no rush. Last time, pull it in. I want you to pause right there. Pull the shin a little bit closer to the chest, push away from the mat with the palms, and let that head be heavy. Soften the back of the neck. Take one more big breath. And then extend, lengthen, set the knee down, sink back into your child's pose again. Wiggle out the fingers, maybe tent the fingertips if you want a little stretch in the opposite direction for those wrists. And then we'll rise back up and lengthen the opposite leg away. Now, just as we did on the other side, start by lightly pressing down into the mat with the ball of the foot so we can really hollow the tummy. Float the foot, point the toe. Notice what happened in your upper body. Don't let that weight shift from one side. We want to keep it even. Big inhale. Exhale, pull the knee in. Inhale, drive it away. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, send it away. 2 more at your own pace. No hurry, no rush. Now this next time, as we bring it in, we're going to hold there. I almost imagine kind of a belt or a great big band wrapped around the back of my body and the front of my shin, pulling that shin in a little bit, making me hollow the tummy. I press evenly into both hands and then extend, lengthen, take a pause, set the foot down, sink into your child's pose once more. Crawl your fingers further away, maybe soften the head a little closer towards the ground. No hurry, no rush. Big sigh out. And then come all the way back up onto our hands and our knees. Now this time, extend your right foot out and away, floating the toe. And then can we reach the opposite hand away as well? I think about a table in front of me and behind me that I can start by stabilizing. I almost imagine pressing down into the table with my front hand and that back foot. With that activation underneath my armpit and along the top of my thigh, I'm able to find my center a little bit better. Take a full, big, deep inhale. Exhale, elbow and knee together. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, elbow and knee together. Inhale, reach and lengthen. 2 more, pull it in. Reach out. Last one in. Reach out, pause. No hurry, no rush. Take a breath. Set the hand down, set the foot down. Go ahead, child's pose. Rise back up. And we'll do it on the other side, starting with our foot, stabilizing, lift, hover, and then opposite hand out. Once more, it's like there's a table underneath your palm, underneath that back foot. Low belly up and in. Big inhale. Exhale, elbow and knee together. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, elbow and knee together. Inhale, reach and lengthen. 2 more in. Send it out. Last one in. Send it out, pause. Stabilize, low belly pulls in, low back so long, so straight. Smile to relax the face and neck. Hand down, foot down, child's pose. No hurry, no rush. Rise to your hands and your knees, and we'll step our right foot forward. Now, make sure if you want to, you could always double up on the mat so you have a little more padding underneath your your knee. I also like to press down into the top of my foot so I can relieve that pressure. Take your right hand to your right thigh. Are you tipping back? Can you think about pressing the front of your pubic bone forward and then lifting out of the waist? If you take your left hand to where your pocket would be on the front of your hip, we ideally want to sort of flatten that out. There shouldn't be a crease there. Press down into the top leg and reach your fingertips up nice and high. Full, big inhale. Big, easy sigh out. Another great, big breath in. Let it go. One more time, reaching those fingertips up a little higher, maybe sending your hips a little further forward, and then softening your hands around your foot. Let's tuck our back toe, lift the knee up. Think about squeezing your inner thighs towards one another and pressing the heel back to the ground. If we need blocks to lift ourselves up here, that's always okay. You can always adjust if you need to. Full, deep inhale. Great big breath out. And then from here, take your hand to your thigh once more, actively press into your thigh to bring yourself up to a great big lunge. If you notice you need to hop your back foot in to make this a little bit better of a pose for you, that's okay. But think about lifting out of the waist, drawing your inner thighs together, pressing your back heel down. Maybe we keep our hand on our thigh and on our waist to give us support. You could start by just reaching the left hand up like we did earlier before. Lightly rotate the pinky in and grow up so tall, so straight. Think of someone holding onto your left hip, keeping it in place while you reach the left hand up, and then maybe the right hand matches. Now, we don't want those hands way back behind us because we can often splay the ribs. It's a little bit better to have them more near peripheral vision or straight up over the head. I think about hugging my inner arms towards my ears while I'm still pulling my inner thighs together, lifting out of the waist. Big, deep, full inhale. Great big breath out. Of course, you can always bend the standing back knee if we need to. No big deal either way. From here, though, take the hands off to the side and then down to your hips. Lift out of the waist, press evenly into that front foot, and then I want you to drive the heel through the mat, straightening the leg. Rebend the knee. Straighten the leg. Rebend the knee. One more time, straighten, pause, lift out of the waist, draw the ribs in. See if you can send your fingertips up, 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 up. Take a big, full, deep inhale. Great big breath out. Rebend your front knee. Take your hands down to the ground. Return to your child's pose. Knees together or apart. Yogi's choice. No hurry whatsoever. When you feel ready, rise back up and step your left foot or the opposite foot forward if you did the other one. No big deal. I do the wrong side all the time. Just as we started on the other side, for me, the more I press into the top of the back foot, the more I can take pressure away from that knee on the ground. But do bring your left hand to your left thigh, right hand to right hip, and start by pressing down so you can rise out of the waist. Cinch the waist and think about turning on your thigh butt, and maybe lightly rocking forward. Do we want to keep that hand there, or can we lift it up to the sky? I almost imagine that I'm dangling from like a little kid's monkey bars. That feeling of my body stretching, of lengthening, especially across that side, should feel so good. Now again, we don't want that hand too far behind us even if we have that range of motion, because ribs are together, belly button is in, fingertips high. Maybe we reach both fingertips up, maybe softening a little deeper into that front leg if we so choose. Then big inhale. Surround the foot with the hands. tuck your back toes and lift the knee. For me, I'm pressing my heel down. I'm pulling my inner thighs together. I pull my belly button away from my thighs, and then I press my left hand into my thigh. Ooh, and if you fall over like I did there, that's okay. Our balance is not perfect at all. We all fall down, my friends. Put a smile on your face when you do it. Just as we did on the other side, we can start by putting our hand on our thigh, our opposite hand on our hip, and deciding, do we need that foot closer or further away? I think about drawing my inner thighs together and lifting out of the waist. Then I take my fingertips up. Notice, does it feel like you're arching the back or swaying? Instead, engage the tummy muscles, just like you would in a regular Pilates class with me, pulling the belly button in. And then as I feel ready, maybe both fingertips lift up high. Again, it's that image, it's that feeling of being dangling or dangling down from monkey bars, so you can get that lovely, lovely, lovely long stretch through the side of the body. When you feel ready, hands slide down, back to the hips, and let's find a little mobility in our front leg, straightening and rebending. Every time I straighten, I press through the heel, toning my inner thighs together. Every time I bend, I just lightly lean into it. No hurry, no rush. And one side you might feel a little bit more stable than the other. No big deal if we wiggle wobble. We're human, we're not statues, that's okay. Last time, you might want to straighten, pause, pulling those inner thighs together, maybe reaching the fingertips up, maybe pressing your back heel closer to the mat, cinching the waist, ribs in, big deep inhale. And then slowly go ahead, find your child's pose once more. No hurry, no rush whatsoever. Maybe sway side to side here in your little child's pose, nod the head, anything that feels nice to you. And from here, we're going to lie on our tummy. Now, two options. If you want to, you can just lay down on the tummy, or maybe rise back to your plank pose, and we can lower down in one piece. But whatever works better for you is totally fine. Take a big inhale, lower down on a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Untuck the toes. Bring your hands in front of your face. Let's think about our low body at first. Pubic bone lightly presses down while you pull the navel away from the ground. Lift one foot up and reach it further and further away. Like we talked about in our lunge, we want that front place of our pocket to be kind of even. No hinge so we don't lift up the tushy. Once we have that nice and active, I think about my thigh butt, giving it an extra little squeeze. And then go ahead, keep all of that lower body so active. Don't let any of that relax. While you take your hands by your side, lower your head down. It might touch the ground, that's a-okay. Before we go anywhere, wing the elbows towards one another. Press down into the mat with both palms, and almost think about reaching your fingertips forward. It's like you're trying to push or slide the mat forward without actually moving. Hopefully that softened the shoulders down the back a little bit more and created a little more length for your neck. Now, have you lost any of that low body engagement? Feet down, thud engaged, pubic bone down, belly button up and in, big deep inhale. Great big breath out. Inhale, roll the shoulders, slowly peel the heart, the chest up and away. Pull the elbows towards one another. Do not let them wing off to the side. You can also think about pressing them back towards your heels, whatever image works better for you. Full inhale. Exhale, pull the navel in, slowly lower down. Inhale, again, immediately roll up, pause, hug the elbows in. Exhale, belly button in as you return down. One more time, up we go. Exhale, lower down. Pause here for just a moment and either keep the hands in place or maybe we clasp them behind our body. Now, depending on the length of your hands, you might be able to actually touch the heels of the hands together or keep them apart. I've got short arms, so mine don't normally do that. I keep my elbows nice and wide. I roll my shoulders down the back, feet into the ground. Inhale, roll the shoulders, the heart and chest up. Pause. Big breath out. Maybe lift a little higher, possibly straightening the arms with you. Full inhale. Exhale, let everything go. Again, roll the shoulders, lift the heart and chest, pause. Pubic bone down, thought engage, belly button up and in. Maybe straighten the arms, lifting up just a little higher. Big breath. Let everything go. One more time, just like that. Feet are pressing down, pubic bone down, belly button up and in, knees up away from the mat, and then lift, pause, take a breath, maybe straighten, lift a little higher. If on this set you want to lift your hands a little bit away from the ground, your butt, that is a-okay. Take one more big inhale. Let everything go. Take your hands in front of you. Use it as a little pillow, letting your head face one side and relaxing the body. Maybe bend the knees and a little windshield wiper, side to side. Take your opposite cheek to the ground. Now I can't quite do that because of my mic, but you look in the other direction and do the same little windshield wiper, giving your neck that love and attention to both sides. No hurry, no rush. Unravel the legs. Take your hands by your sides. Press back into a child's pose. Crawl your fingertips further and further away. Big, full inhale. Easy sigh out. Slowly roll yourself all the way up to a seat and take your feet out in front of you. Scooch towards the front of your mat, and we're going to lie on our back. But before we get there, let's just do a little bit of abdominal engagement with a nice boat pose, Navasana, teaser, whatever you want to call it. Hands behind the thighs, sit tall, sit straight, broaden across that chest. It should be nice and easy to do after all of our lovely cobra and locust work. Tip back, cinch the waist, hollow the tummy. Take a big inhale, seal those inner thighs in, and float your feet up. Now, if this is too much, you can always set one foot down. That's a-okay. You can keep your hands behind your thighs, or maybe we reach both fingertips out and away. Just like we kind of thought about earlier, imagine there's a table underneath your palms you can press down onto. You can broaden across the chest. Either hold right here or 3 times. Inhale, reach your head and toes away. Exhale, tone the tummy, pull yourself up. Inhale, reach your head and toes away. Exhale, pull yourself up. This time, reach your head and toes away, pause, smile. We love it so much. Take one more big inhale, and then exhale, let everything go. Find a nice, comfortable spot on the mat for a moment and decide, is there some movement that's still calling to you? Maybe a round of bridge, maybe a happy baby. Maybe you're content just lying here on your mat. Go ahead and take a full, big inhale. Easy breath out. Another great, big inhale. Let it go. Take a moment and thank your body for everything it accomplished for you today. Appreciating just how strong you are. Just how much work your body does for you each and every day. Feel free to stay a little longer here in your Shavasana or wiggle the toes, nod the head, walk your feet in. Take your hands overhead and a big stretch. And then roll to one side. Push yourself up to a seat. As always, a pat on the back. Thank yourself for doing something so good and just for you. I hope you enjoyed class today, and I cannot wait to see you again.